Sagittarians, you can possibly be one of the signs having the best planetary transits in 2023 as you overcome the harsh karmic testing time of Saturn Sadhisati, and this helps you in 2023 to be more self-confident and hardworking regarding your goals. You will also be romantically inclined this year, but the kind of relationships you fall in could possibly not all have the best impact on your personality or interests. You'll also see a shift in trying to rebuild your bonds with family and move away from toxic hustle culture by balancing your approach to carving time for yourself. Hi lovely viewers, and welcome back to the channel. We are officially going to be discussing only 2023 astrology related videos now on the channel, and today's video in the stream of 2023's yearly horoscope videos for all zodiac signs is going to be for the sign of. Also, before I get into the detailed discussion, I would like to thank all the viewers and subscribers who have supported this journey as we have completed an year of this channel's inception. And to commemorate this event, I have now also started a Patreon page wherein I can get to share more exclusive, viewer-centric and catered content. So please do consider supporting the channel on Patreon as well. There will be extended versions of these videos shared on the Patreon page, wherein there is detailed analysis about how each month of 2023 is going to be turning out for you. So do not miss out on that video, as this YouTube version is going to be a little more brief and comprising of only the major highlights of the planetary transits that are most significant for you in the year of 2023. You can primarily check this video for your ascendant sign and secondly for your moon sign as well if you would like to. In the month of January, the first transit that takes place favorably for you, which ends the troubles and conflicts at work, is going to be the transit of Mars finally going direct in the sign of Taurus and your 6th house. This shows that you are now going to feel much more focused and driven to achieve perfection and productivity at work, and even the kind of disruption and disagreements that you could be having with your colleagues can get over, or at least you will be able to be the one who emerges victorious. You will start to be favorably looked upon as your dedication and precision at work gets acknowledged, and this is where one of the most important transits of the year will take place when Saturn moves into Aquarius and your 3rd house. A principle in astrology that you must know about to understand why this is a stellar placement is that, just like the mathematical principle of two negatives forming a positive together, in astrology as well, when a malefic planet like Saturn and even Mars get situated in the Dushtana houses, which are 6, 8 and 12, as well as Upacha houses, which are 3, 6th, 10th and 11th house, as they get better over time. Hence the placement of these planets in such houses is actually considered to be auspicious, which is what you are going to be encountering when it comes to Saturn's transit through your 3rd house. In astrology, 3rd house is significatory of self-efforts and hard work, which is exactly what Saturn also represents. Hence, these energies are cohesive. And this is the time period wherein you are going to consistently and patiently keep working hard towards achieving your professional goals. You are going to be on the receiving end of results and rewards of your efforts as long as you don't become impatient about the results. Saturn from your 3rd house puts 3 aspects on. Firstly, the 5th house with its 3rd aspect, secondly on your 9th house with its 7th aspect, and lastly your 12th house with its 10th aspect. Let's discuss the effects of each of these aspects individually. When Saturn aspects your 5th house with its 3rd aspect, this shows that you could be being asked now to work extremely hard to be able to receive the fame and recognition for your efforts. Also shows that in terms of romantic relationships as well, you will have to work hard upon your communication to be able to sustain the romance. Otherwise, you can easily fall into the rut of foregoing your relationship because of stress of goals and work. You will also need to think logically and possibly get advice from your elders or just people who have more experience than you in your network circle about investing in instruments or speculative gains. Otherwise, you are predisposed to taking rash decisions and rather losing out on money. Next, when Saturn puts its seventh aspect onto the ninth house, it shows that you will work extremely hard to achieve your academic goals. This is a time frame wherein you are going to consistently be able to put in effort to excel at your academic aspirations. This also shows the possibility of you traveling to foreign places and being able to mingle with people from different cultures based on shared interests. Another possibility is that you will have an exploration of your religious, spiritual, or philosophical beliefs based on the communications that you have with individuals who are much more advanced on this journey. Lastly, when Saturn puts its 10th aspect onto your 12th house, it can show that there's a possibility of you not being able to manifest all the efforts that you have been putting into work and career to be able to achieve the exact outcomes and results you want. But what you must remember is that there can be such hidden mystical events and transformations that can lead you to be put on a completely different path or tangent for your work aspirations. But you must be prepared to lose the vision or expectation of the outcomes in relation to your work prospects and the results in this time period. Also, this can further accentuate the possibility of being able to travel abroad for work, but albeit with some struggles involved to facilitate that process. In this month, you also have Mercury, which is your Yogakaraka planet, as it rules your Trikona and Kendra houses, being retrograde in your second house, as well as Venus being conjunct Saturn in your third house, showing that it is a perfect time to set some goals about your financial profits as well as communicate with your network circle about their own strategies to maximize your profits for benefits. A special circumstance arising with this transit of Saturn in Aquarius is that for natives with Sagittarius moon, you will finally get free of your Saturn's Sadesati period, which could have been wreaking a havoc on your mental health for the past several years. To briefly explain what a Sadesati is that Saturn's transit through three signs, namely the sign which is 12th from your natal moon, your own moon sign itself, and the sign which is next or second to your natal moon sign, a period that takes about 7.5 years, also known as Sadesati in astrology, as the term for 7.5 in Hindi is Sade Sat. Saturn takes on an average of a little over 29 months to transit through each sign of the zodiac. This can be rounded up to about 2.5 years per sign or 30 years for one revolution around the zodiac. Hence, the Sadesati of Saturn refers to its transit through the trio of the two signs flanking the natal moon and the natal moon itself in the chart. To give an example of the periods described above, if we assume that one was born with moon in Sagittarius in the birth chart, then when Saturn transits the signs of Scorpio, Sagittarius and Capricorn, the individual will experience Sadesati. Basically, you are going to be getting over this period of intense lessons and fulfillment of your karma into a much better and mentally peaceful period. So congratulations to you on that front, as it could be one of the greatest planetary placements in terms of beneficial effects on your happiness and fulfillment. In the month of April, another one of the most major transits taking place this year is the transit of Jupiter into Aries and your fifth house, which will show that you are now going to feel the effect of Jupiter's luck and benevolence being showered on your creative efforts and speculative financial gains. But Jupiter is not going to be alone here, as it's getting conjunct with the already present Rahu in your fifth house, forming something called a Guru Chandal Yoga in astrology. That shows that the conjunction of Rahu's obsessive energies with Jupiter's benefic magnification, hence causing for you to be experiencing this sort of push and pull in the dynamics of romantic connections, wherein you will feel confused so as to understand who is the person that you are dating is really like, because the image that they portray can actually be misleading. You can also have a sort of wavering effect of concentration and dedication to your educational pursuits, wherein it can get hard to stay focused on the matter or just even want to pursue the same educational disciplines or streams as you had wanted to before. And this can be a change which comes in also due to potentially being influenced by an eclectic or eccentric mentor you come in contact with. You will also have to be extremely careful not to go bullish on investing in speculative instruments despite the kind of profits that you could be potentially seeing now, as the situation might be much different eventually than it might be seeming to you now. Also, as Jupiter is Jeev Karka or life giver in astrology, hence, if you have any aspirations to conceive a child, then you might be able to do so, but in a very unconventional and sudden way, like let's say an IVF or surrogacy or something of that sort. Jupiter from your fifth house puts its three aspects: firstly on the ninth house with its fifth aspect, secondly on the 11th house with its seventh aspect, and lastly on the first house with its ninth aspect. Let's discuss the effects of each of these aspects individually. When Jupiter puts its fifth aspect onto your ninth house, it shows the clear possibility of you taking a very niche or distinct course to pursue your higher education now, and this pursuit can even take you abroad. You can also modify or shift your religious, spiritual, or philosophical beliefs on the basis of the kind of study of ancient texts, and also just by coming in contact with different cultural experiences. Luck will be on your side when it comes to making profits through riskier investment instruments. Next, when Jupiter puts its seventh aspect onto the 11th house, it shows that you can actually come in contact with the kind of network circle of friends who can help you to catalyze on your financial gains and aspirations. You will also have to stay mindful of how your romantic relationships could be influencing the friendships in your life. Your partner can even broaden the horizons of your network circle as well. You can come in contact with a larger group of people who you can connect with based on similar creative interests and educational pursuits even. Lastly, when Jupiter aspects the first house with its ninth aspect, it means that you will feel quite lucky this year in terms of education and financial profits, and these things might even fundamentally change who you are as an individual. Your romantic partner can also have a significant influence on you now, and that can even change your personality in terms of being a better suit in that alliance. Your children can also have a profound yet unexpected effect on you during this transitory phase. In the month of July, Venus and Mars move into Leo and your 11th house, coming under direct aspect from the retrograde Saturn and Jupiter, as well as showing that this can be a time for you to take a step back from investing in something without knowing the complete truth behind the matter, as you could be deceived or duped into investing wrongfully by the people surrounding you. This also shows a sort of falling out of your network circle of friends based on fundamental differences in your behaviors and interests. Sun and Mercury move into Cancer and your 8th house, showing that things can feel very sudden and transformative to you now, leading to a sense of darkness and doom. In the month of August, Venus will go retrograde in your 8th house, showing that some secrets pertaining to your romantic relationships can actually put you in an emotional turmoil. This also shows the possibility of losing out on money now in a very sudden or roundabout manner. Mars will transit in your 10th house and Virgo, showing that you can be very focused on being the best you can be at your career. Yet all the stress in other aspects of your life can catch up with you, causing confusion, indecision, and general unhappiness. This is further substantiated as Sun transits through Leo and gets aspected by its enemy planet of Saturn in the retrograde motion, which also affects the retrograde Mercury in Leo, further worsening your level of ideation and communication. Another pivotal shift in the planetary energies takes place in October when Rahu and Ketu change their signs and begin a new 18-month phase of transformation for the axis of energies that your life will revolve within. Rahu will move to Pisces and Ketu will move into Virgo, which activates your 4th and 10th house axis. What this means is that as Rahu transits your 4th house, you will start to notice a change in your focus being towards your home and family. You can be especially emotionally dependent on your mother during this period. Also be careful of her health, as there can be instances of requirement of visits to hospitals. You are going to have to prioritize your emotional well-being now, and this will be closely related to your family support and being around your loved ones at home. You are slowly going to want to dedicate your energies in expanding your home as well as with possible renovations or constructions. You can also take some foreign trips with your family during this time as well. Your family and home are going to be proving as an escape from reality for you now. On the other hand, as Ketu moves in your 10th house, you will start to see that your focus and dedication from work starts to get a little distant now as you get burnt out with the level of intensity and focus on your work prior. The chase behind perfectionism and critical analysis starts to wear down even your public image, and you will start wanting to part away from the toxic image of being a criticizing pushover workaholic. You might also possibly have a sort of decrease in the level of attachment that you had to being a part of your colleagues' group at work or being the favorite of your superiors. It's a time of revamping your work persona to suit a more balanced work-life approach. Venus will go direct this month and move into your ninth house, but this gets a retrograde aspect of both Saturn and Jupiter, hence showing troubles with reconciling or feeling good about your efforts and educational prospects, as well as the kind of belief systems you hold regarding religious, spiritual, or philosophical ideals. You can feel quite isolated from the luck factor in your life, especially also pertaining to relating to the values of your romantic partner. Sun, Mercury, and Mars are going to be transiting through your 11th house, showing the prospect of being focused on gaining financially, yet as the retrograde Jupiter aspects these planets as well. Hence, you will feel like the amount of benefic magnification of luck that was increasing your money prospects will now feel like they fall short, especially leading you to really assess the quality of people you have around in your network circle. In the last month of the year 2023, Sun and Mars will firstly move into your first house, which proves that your own self-improvement and accentuating your appearance and personality is going to be your prime focus, driving you to be passionate in achieving those results. You will also want to have an adventure and travel long distance to explore different cultures, and this is further corroborated by Venus transiting through your 12th house, showing an intense desire to explore foreign lands. But there can also be some challenges during this time in communicating, especially if you're traveling to a place where any universal usages of language isn't common, as Mercury will be retrograde in your 12th house at this time, causing you to suffer a sort of language barrier during travel, or just simply indulging in some sort of solo travel to explore alone. Also, the best part of the transits being that at the precipice of the year ending, your sign's planetary lord Jupiter is going to become direct again in the 5th house, showing that the possibility of optimism arising again about formulating new romances and focusing on your educational or creative pursuits, as well as catalyzing on increasing speculative gains. And with discussing the impact of planetary transits taking place in 2023 on the sign of Sagittarius for all months of the year 2023, I come to the end of this video. If you have resonated with the predictions and found this detailed analysis of your coming year 2023 to be helpful, then please do not forget to like this video and also subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a fruitful year in 2023. I will see you soon with the next video. Until then, take care you all.